Today we are going to be painting this landscape. This is a landscape I took in Gainesville, Florida in late September. And so it's got a really nice early fall sky. Things are beginning to turn colors. You've got some dark green and some shadows in this ditchy area. There's a marsh and water over here. And there's this really gentle sky on the horizon line with some clouds and some pink and yellows moving into blue. So we're gonna work on this. I already have it loosely sketched out here. So go ahead and download the reference photo and sketch it out, and you can paint along with us. I am going to kind of keep the reference photo nearby. I like to start with the sky. I'm taking my round 16, it's Princeton Heritage Series round 16, and we're going to work with this particular brush. I do want to get just this nice pinky sky in the background. So I'm taking my permanent rose from my Winsor and Newton travel set, and I'm going to bring just a light pink sky into this background here. And I do want to bring some clouds in, so I'm going to kind of leave some areas white. And I'm rinsing off my brush. Now I want to mix up kind of a peachy pink now. So some yellow, I'm bringing this in. It's actually, I believe, raw sienna that I have here. I don't want a full, strong yellow. But I do want to bring in some color. Leaving these clouds white. As you can see, I'm leaving swaths of the area white. And I'm going to just bring in a little bit more of this color in here. This gentle color. This gentle raw sienna color. And again, working around my little white clouds in the distance near the horizon line. I'm going to go ahead and add more water here, really blurring that line, making it light. And now I'm going to get some blue. I want to have a nice, gentle blue sky. I'm going to take my French Ultramarine and I'm going to bring it to my palette, and I'm going to soften that color. And I'm going to start from the top. And I'm going to just gently, with this French Ultramarine, I'm bringing it down. It has quite a bit of, it's a higher water ratio, more water than pigment. And I want to really just bring that in. I can actually probably bring in a little bit more blue up here towards the top. As I gently bring that blue down and let it meet here in this yellow, the raw sienna color. So there we have a nice, beautiful sky beginning. While I'm waiting for this sky to dry, I want to bring in this grassy spot. So there is green here. There's green here and here, and then there is a deep shadow right here, but this is the marshland. What I really care about doing right now is this green and this green. I'm going to do it both kind of the same color. There is some green in here, but this is kind of more of a raw sienna or a yellow ochre color right here. And the green is more over here on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and tackle that green. I'm going to begin with a permanent sap mixed with a little of the hooker green. this gets into this side over here as well, like this. And I'm gonna start by bringing that color in over there and along in here. This color in here, it's a little bit tricky. Let's take a look at the reference photo. So the color that we have here, it is probably a yellow ochre mixed with raw sienna. There are shadows in here where people have, you can tell that people have been walking or bike tires have gone through. And we can bring that in with blue once it dries, like in the blue and the side here. Absolutely. Actually, I'm seeing a little green right here. I do want to bring that in, but I'm going to do this first. So let's see what we can do. With this trail here, I think I'm going to begin by taking my raw sienna, and I'm going to use my raw sienna here. What's fun about these landscapes is they're pretty quick. It's relatively loose. Got this nice color happening right here, as you can see. And that's so beautiful right there. Now, as that begins to dry, I want to look at the grasslands that we have over here. Even there's a blue in the water right there. I'm going to tackle that next. I'm going to take my French ultramarine. I do need to get more water here. Just bring that in. That's this color right here. This little marsh. And, I'm going to just kind of maybe put a little bit of that blue back here. I know there's marshlands over here. And I'm going to bring in a little bit more of the hooker green and just kind of bring that color in here. I'm going to be careful not to hit this because it's still wet. But I do want to bring in some of the yellow over here that I see, and I do want it to mix with the green on that side because that's what I'm seeing happening. So I'm going to just kind of bring this in like this. And I will need this to dry now. So I do need that to dry. It's a darker green right here. And into this space here. And that's the same right here. And now we'll let that dry. As this is drying, I'm gonna come back here. In the reference photo, I see this dark color in the background, and I'm gonna bring a little of that in. It's kind of like a brown. I'm gonna use my round 6 for this. And I'm gonna use my Van Dyke brown. I do love a good Van Dyke brown, and I just love the way it looks back here. Just a rich color. Just letting that be really kind of gentle with my line. As I get over here, there is this prairie grass, this really beautiful pinkish reddish prairie grass. And I do kind of want to leave that. And also on this side, it's lighter. It's a lighter, lots of grasses back there. And so I'm gonna make that kind of a pinkish, yellowish color. I'm gonna take my red and I'm gonna do a red with yellow ochre and give that, make it kind of prairie grass back there. I'm gonna bring it in right here too. And it's gonna get a little bit into my blue, I think, and that's gonna be okay. I'm not gonna be too upset with that. There are some spots where that just kind of goes up a little bit. And I do need that to dry before I can do too much more. But I like the look of this red and yellow ochre for the grass. And I'm going to just kind of bring that color in here a little bit and let it touch the brown. That's okay. Just letting that do its thing. And the prairie grass right here. Some places give it a little bit more red. And just let that all dry, and I'll come back in and do a little bit more once it's dry. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just start with a couple things. I want to bring in some more of that yellow ochre right over here. I'm going to kind of bring that in like this. And I'm using a lot of the pigment, keeping it darker. And I want to do the same thing right here. This isn't completely dry, that's okay. This is where watercolor does its kind of beautiful little thing where it will mix together and the outcome will be pretty interesting. I do want more of that right here as well. Wanted a stronger pigment. And I've got this pretty wet, not necessarily on purpose, but it's gonna be okay. So over here, I want to kind of play with this up like this. Bring a little yellow in. I don't want, or excuse me, green. I'm gonna bring a little green in. I don't want the green to completely take over, but it is green in here. So I'm just bringing in a little bit of green into this area. And back here. And now I'm gonna let that dry. I'm gonna take my pink yellow mixture for my little pink grass over here and kind of bring this in. And do you see the shadows back here? And little here. And the shadows along this side. It's a strong Payne's gray happening. It's mixing a little with that, but I feel like it's okay. And I kind of just want to do those little, I want this to be very blue. Just mussing this up a little bit too. I'm even going to take just a wet paper and kind of bring some of that up a little. There we go. Okay, so this needs to dry a bit because I want to come darken it up in here and in here, but we got to let that dry first. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a lot of Payne's Gray on. There's a deep shadow right here that I want to capture. That's also over here as well. So I want to grab that. And this side may not be dry enough yet for me to pull that in, but I know that the left-hand side is. Strong, dark shadow. And the shadow comes in over here like that. You know, I like the effect. It was still a little wet over here, and I do like the effect of it kind of spreading in between those two. So I want to see, it is pretty darn wet over here, but let's see what I can get. I'm going to just pick up some of this water with my little napkin here. And I'm going to bring in this line, a little line right here as well. So I like that look that I've got going. I'm gonna bring in some more of this yellow right in here. Just letting it get messy. And I am bringing it in on this side as well. I want my blue to be a little more distinct here. And there we go. We have just this is a very loose, very quick landscape. And I love the vibrant colors and the way that is looking. There you have it. Loose and quick and beautiful. So give it a try. Let me know how it goes for you.